Hi everyone, this is Sue from So Crafty. If you just watched my last video, I said I was going to explain those little beads that I showed you on those journal cards. And so I wanted to show you these. I had gotten a phone cover from Goodwill, and all these little things were on the back of it. And if once you get to know me, you'll learn I'm a very major purple fanatic. And I also like vintage things like high heel shoes, purses, just like not the bling bling stuff, but the more like a Paris theme. I think my daughter calls it French couture or something. Anyway, all of this stuff was stuck on the back of a phone case, and the phone case was way too small for my phone, and I'm not sure I would have used that as a phone case anyway because of the way that it was all put together and styled. But when I was looking at it, my first thought was, I wonder if I heat it up, if I could get those pieces off to use on journal pages. And that's what I did. So that's what all these little beads were from. And I just finally did this the other night, so I haven't got a chance to use any of these pieces yet. But I thought that they were really pretty to be able to use on journal covers or something that to decorate them. I just took my heat gun and heated it up, the plastic a little bit of the phone case underneath where it was glued, heated that up to where it would melt the glue just enough where I could pop these items off, and then I just peeled the rest of the glue off so I could reuse them. So I just wanted to show you that because I did forget to do that after I said I was going to do it. And anyway, so if you're out at Goodwill or something or anywhere and you see decorations on something and you think, "Ooh, I like those decorations, but I wouldn't use it like that," hey, it's not a hopeless cause. That heat gun can do a lot. You'd want to be careful because, of course, that plastic got pretty hot. And, you know, I just had to be really careful on how I done it and how I popped everything off without breaking it. So I just took my time and was really careful with it. So wanted to jump on here again and show you some more papers I had done in the last week. I had a lot of phone troubles. If you watched my last video, I said that. Had a lot of phone issues, so I did not get a chance to post this. I just sprayed, not oven dry. Not tried that yet. Don't plan to try it anytime soon. I may in the future. You never know. Anyway, these were sprays, and excuse me. When I first started doing this, I got me a few big bottles of these spray guns from the dollar store, and they do not spray very well. They do not spray very small for sure. It's like big areas, and I just noticed they wasn't spraying very well. So I was at Dollar Tree one day, and I saw these little spray bottles, and these, you have a lot more control with these. So I started using these, and they seem to be working a lot better as far as control anyway. So I'm just taking my big bottles and filling these little bottles as I go, and then I'll wash out all the big bottles and do something else with those. So I guess they'd be all right if you had a big area you wanted to do, but I like a little more control. So anyway, I just wanted to show you some of these. I was playing around with some more stencils and doing some stencil work. This particular stencil, the negative part of it did not work so well because that's like a big blob, but it can be used on collage pages or backgrounds or whatever. So it's still worth keeping. Gotta be careful with some on how close you get. As you can see, it kind of spread through the stencil a little bit, but again, background pages work great. These I thought would be great for like to put on the back of or even like the back of one of these cards, and that to have like lines and that to journal lines, if depending on what you want to use this for. But anything like that, I thought those would be really nice for that. So I'll just run through some of these really quickly. This one I just took like an edging. I put a paper down and put the edge there, and then just sprayed that so it would have a designed edge. And then I decided it was a little bit too light, so I just took and just misted some spray across it. I've not done the backs of these yet. I figure if some of them I have and some I have not. Excuse me. I figured depending on how I was going to use them, I may go on and spray the back of these. This is a 70-pound paper. Like I said in my well, I don't know if I said it in my last video because I lost the video the other day when I was trying to do these. I had some phone issues and I did a whole video and ended up losing it all. But anyway, this is a plain one. It's a heavier paper. Your regular copy paper is 20 pound. This is a 70-pound weight. I ran across a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace. There was these people had gotten a campground, and apparently the big pole barn that was at the campground used to be a printing place, and so they left a whole bunch of reams of paper and they wanted to sell it, and I went out to look at it, and they had lots, and I mean lots. And he said, my wife says if you buy 10 reams or more, we will give it to you at $3 a ream. That's really cheap for heavyweight paper. I even got some 110 paper, 110-pound paper, which is really, really nice, almost cardstock paper. So that was a really good deal. So anyway, this one ended up being like a double ream in one package, but I only got charged for one package of it because one part was open a little bit. And I think it was, no, actually, I think I opened it. But anyway, he only charged me for one. So, hey, I got a double one for $3. So, can't beat that. But so anyway, I thought it would be at that price. I thought it was worth going through and just playing around with some. This little stencil there. Just wanted to play around with some and do some different things. This, I did like the doilies I showed in the last video. I crinkled it all up and then sprayed it. It didn't do as many creases as the other one. I'm not sure. Did I crinkle it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I crinkled that before. Wonder why I didn't do the creases. I probably sprayed it a little too heavy or something. But some of these, like this one, lost some creases. This one. And again, I should have plugged in my iron so I could iron some of these on camera and showed you how they looked after they were ironed. I did that the other day with my video that I lost. I lost the whole thing. So now I guess I just can't think when doing the second part. Anyway, just if you spread these out, you can really see those creases in there in that paper. And I just think that is gorgeous. So you can leave it crinkled up like that in a journal, or you could iron them. And I just set my iron right on a high side. Oh, this one here I ironed the other day in the video that I lost. But you can tell where it was crinkled, and then I ironed it out. But I just set my iron on high and ironed them right out. So this was a stencil that showed days of the week. And, of course, I did the negative of it, which, of course, makes the pattern backwards. But because I used the really thin paper, you can still see it through here. So I thought this still might look neat, like on the back of some collage papers or something, because some of this, you could still see through that paper enough to use this side of it. And that'd just be like a background color. So this one was really dark. And I think I didn't end up liking this side at all, so I just sprayed some more on it. But anyway, some of these days of the week ones I thought were really neat. Again, this one you can see right through it, and to use it on the back of something. And I did some colored ones. Same thing. The colored ones are kind of light, kind of hard to see all the way through. But I thought this side was really pretty though. The purple and the pink. Yellow is really hard to see, and it's probably really hard to see on camera too. But again, even if I use it for background, you can still see the lines. They can use it for journaling. The green also very hard to see. Not quite as bad as the yellow, but not real great. The purple is really pretty. I really like that. And the blue, really pretty. Really pretty colors, I think. Oh, there's one of my little beads fell in there. Get that in the bowl. Here's some of that other one with lines. I got a little close on that one, and I thought it almost looked like I sprayed it with yellow too, but I think that's just that yellow tinted paper that I used, that 70-pound weight. And I would probably just got a little pump heavy, thinking a thicker paper I needed to put a little more liquid on it, and I probably shouldn't have because it made it run a little bit, but still works. It's still pretty to use for any reasons. Like we said, there's no mistakes when it comes to journals, junk journals. Now this looks like the negative to this, so that turned out pretty good. Excuse me. Should have taken a drink before I tried to do this video. I just did 3 videos in a row because I got a new camera and a new phone, and I was messing up or something. It just wasn't in frame on one, and then it shut off on me on another because I used the wrong program. And then finally got the last one that's downloading right now, so I hope this is filming correctly. I've never tried to film and download at the same time, so we'll see what happens. But just some rainbow stuff here, some purple. These were just separate little design stencils, and I just thought, you know, if you wanted an edge piece or something, these could be cut out as edges, backgrounds to different little tags or cards. Just anything. When you do your papers like this, you may not have a reason why you're doing it. You just do it, and then you'll come up with a good use for it after. Of course, these are negatives, positive and negatives of those. These were kind of cute looking, I think. Just different colors. I just love color. People ask me what's my favorite color, and I would have to say I'm crazy about purple. But when it comes to just really, I love color, period. I just always have, just all types of colors. I'm not no artist by no means, but I love to sit and I like to draw, like to paint, like to color. I just like all of it. So, but these were some little round stencils that were supposed to be used for coloring cakes and cupcakes with powdered sugar. And I have a niece that she buys those big crates of items and finds all kinds of stuff in it, and she has a site that she sells the stuff on, and she posted those, and I think I got like 8, maybe 8 different stencils in it, 8 or 9, and I think I paid like $1 for the whole thing, maybe. So I thought that was a pretty good deal because it makes some pretty neat backgrounds. Again, really tiny, like you have to be really careful how much you use because of the bleed over, but as background or something, I thought it would be neat. But again, this is another one of those ones that you do the negative and it writes backwards, but thin paper shows right through, so it could still be used. So anyway, and I just did one page with just all the little hearts. I thought the little hearts were really cute. So, and the flowers. I thought the flowers were cute, but they're really hard to get just certain things in certain colors. I could use those with an ink blotter thing and actually, you know, stamp them, use them as stamp stencils, but I was in the mood to make some papers, and this is what I did. Just kind of threw some stuff together and thought they were pretty, and again, I just love color. Now, these are some of the ones that I crinkled up. I wanted to do that with some solid colors too, and I crinkled them up and sprayed them. And again, I wish I would have turned on my iron to iron some of these out to show you, but I just love the color. See, as you can see, I did more purple than the other colors. So, but again, even though I really lean towards purple, I love color, period. But this is one, I believe I did iron this the other day on the video that I lost, because you can see how flat it is, even though it's got wrinkles in it. So it still has some texture to it, but it's not as crinkled and wrinkled as this. But it's really pretty. This would work really good as a journal cover because it's got the little creases in there and those colors. That would be pretty on the outside. But I hope this is showing up on camera as much as I can see it live. These were just some I just did like rainbow stuff, and then I just kind of laid papers down and kind of did like a framing around it just for like a background. But again, this excuse me, this heavier paper, you know, it doesn't run as much in that. So you know, it just really makes some neat design. When you spray it, it doesn't just all blend together automatically. You got like little different patches there. I just thought they was really pretty. Some more stencils I was playing around with. Some of them got a little heavy, but just some vines and then just some different plant-like stuff. Some turned out a little better than others, but I liked them. Some more vine ones. Just thought they, you know, be good for like edges or something if needed. This must have been for like a baby or something. It's got little clouds and stars, and just thought it was cute. Just thought that was cute. This is actually a embossing stencil, and so that you can emboss different size frames and stuff on that. But I just laid it down there and did some sprays just to see what it would do, and I think it's kind of pretty. So, and another one with just some more of those squares and a couple grapes from a couple little ones. But anyway, just wanted to share those with you. It doesn't really take all that long to go through, and I mean, like, that's a lot of papers, and I maybe spent, I don't even know if I spent an hour doing these. It's just really a lot of fun. Throw a movie on the TV and sit in front of the TV with some little bottles of spray and papers and spray away. I did realize, I forgot to say on my last video, that I really wanted to express with you guys my edging pad. I keep mine in a little snack baggie here, and while I'm working, because I've shown how I set up my prep, while I'm working I just have it open and ready to go, and this baggie keeps it moist, and so it doesn't dry out. And then when I'm done, here, I'll just show you. I have not inked this since at least early last night, and I did a lot of that prep work that you saw. I did a lot of that last night and overnight. But as you can see, it still is moist. It still has some ink on there and that for edging. And I believe it's because I'm keeping it in this baggie, because when I would have it out before, it was just drying out so fast. But because I keep it in here while I'm working, I keep it like this, so it's easy to grab. And then when I get done for the day, I just close it up and get that air out. I just close it up and seal it in there, and it stays moist. I can take it out the next day and use it, and it's still moist. So I wanted to share that, but I forgot to put it on the last video. But if you use different colors, you could just get you some different little pads and take the pad off and put it in a baggie and put your next one on for your next color, or just get you a couple more of the whole thing and keep them in baggies like this. And you could keep the name on it if you wanted to. So far I've only been going through 2 different colors on edging, and so I haven't really put the name or anything on it yet. But I thought about some items I might actually get into some other colors, so I may do that in the future. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. I hope you liked it. Again, like I said in my other videos, I do not know how to edit yet. My videos are completely raw. What you hear is what you get. But I hope that makes it more personal for people. That's the way I like it. I would rather somebody just be completely personal than to be all commercialized and, you know, just talk like a friend. And just like junk journals, like I said in the last video, it's like a junk journal. There's no wrong to it. So, you know, if you mess up on something, just keep going. But anyway, if you like this, hit the like button, share it if you'd like, invite your friends to watch it. Please subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I post my next video. And I really appreciate you watching, and God bless.